in the large animal especially, there is no retakes. And the people in the show have seen that and they know it. And nothing is done for the show to make the show more popular. So what you see is real. And I think this is why the show has been so popular.
Most doctors spend their careers quietly working behind the scenes, but one man has completely rewritten the script. Dr. John Harm Pole, a name that has become legendary in the world of veterinary medicine, shocked everyone with a financial decision that left his fellow vets in disbelief. His small garage clinic, which had grown into a thriving $1.5 million enterprise, was not expanded into something grander. Instead, in a move that defied all expectations, he chose to walk away from the very success he had spent decades building. Rather than embracing a luxurious retirement, filled with relaxation and ease, Dr. Pole made a choice that left many scratching their heads. Some speculate that the heartbreaking loss of his grandson played a major role in this dramatic shift, while others wonder if it had more to do with his wife Diane's recent health struggles. As his long-running hit TV series came to an end, he did not settle into a slower pace of life. Instead, he took on an entirely new challenge, a massive 350-acre farm project that would become his next great adventure. On a crisp Michigan morning, with the golden sunlight casting long shadows across the open fields, Dr. Pole surveys the land before him. The familiar sounds of barking dogs and meowing cats from his clinic are now memories of the past. In their place, the gentle rustling of cornfields and the lowing of cattle fill the air. This life, though vastly different from the one he led for decades, feels like the perfect fit, a return to something deeply familiar, yet refreshingly new. For 24 seasons, viewers tuned in to The Incredible Dr. Pole, where they watched him tackle difficult cases with a no-nonsense practical approach that became his trademark. The show wasn't just about veterinary medicine, it was about resilience, determination, and the unbreakable bond between humans and animals. But in 2024, an announcement stunned fans. The show was coming to an end. Many assumed this meant retirement, but Dr. Pole had other plans. Instead of stepping away from work entirely, he pivoted towards something that felt even closer to his heart: a return to farming, a life rooted in his Dutch agricultural heritage. While many in his position might have chosen to settle into a comfortable, leisurely retirement, playing golf or traveling the world, Dr. Pole found himself drawn back to the land. But this time, he wouldn't be doing it alone. His son, Charles, who had been the creative mind behind the television series that brought the family worldwide recognition, was stepping up to lead this new venture. Together, they were embarking on an entirely different journey, one that was less about entertainment and more about education, preservation, and legacy. Nestled in the heart of Michigan, this farm carries far more than financial value. It holds the weight of personal history and a deep sense of purpose. For Dr. Pole, it symbolizes a return to the simple, honest way of life that first shaped him into the man he is today. For Charles, it's an opportunity to take what they built and transform it into something even greater. Their new mission is not just to run a farm, but to create a place where people can truly experience farm life firsthand. Charles has always been a visionary, someone who sees the extraordinary in the ordinary. It was his keen eye that turned his father's daily veterinary work into a show that captivated millions. Now, that same creative spirit is being channeled into The Incredible Pole Farm, ensuring that it becomes a unique and meaningful experience for visitors. Unlike traditional farms that operate behind closed gates, this one is designed to be interactive. Guests won't just observe from a distance, they'll get their hands dirty, learning firsthand what it takes to care for animals, grow food, and maintain a working farm. The goal is to bridge the gap between modern life and the agricultural world, helping people understand not only where their food comes from, but also the dedication and hard work that goes into farming. But this isn't just another reality show concept. The Incredible Pole Farm is built on more than just entertainment. It's a fully operational farm that blends modern advancements with the timeless farming wisdom Dr. Pole grew up with in the Netherlands. By combining innovation with tradition, the farm will serve as both an educational hub and a testament to the values that have guided Dr. Pole's life: hard work, resilience, and an unwavering love for animals and the land. For those who have followed Dr. Paul's journey over the years, this latest chapter may come as a surprise, but in many ways, it makes perfect sense. He has never been one to sit still, and he has always believed in the power of hands-on learning and the importance of passing knowledge down to future generations. This farm is more than just a retirement project, it's the next step in a lifelong mission to help others. Whether they have 2 legs or 4, the once empty land is undergoing a remarkable transformation, steadily evolving into a thriving agricultural hub. Fields that once lay dormant now burst with golden corn stretching toward the horizon, while newly built barns house an ever-growing number of livestock. Every passing day brings new developments, as fresh structures rise and the hum of activity fills the air. This isn't just any farm, it's a vision brought to life, shaped by generations of dedication and a deep-rooted love for the land. With Charles stepping in, his Hollywood experience and natural creativity are adding a unique touch to the project. The same innovative mindset that turned a small veterinary clinic into a global sensation is now being applied to farming, ensuring that the legacy the Pauls have built continues to thrive in an entirely new way. From the layout of the barns to the way daily farm life is captured on camera, every detail is carefully considered to create something extraordinary. Blending the past and present, cutting-edge farming equipment is being introduced alongside the time-tested methods Dr. Paul has relied on for decades. Instead of replacing old traditions, modern innovations are being used to enhance them. It's a seamless fusion of technology and experience, striking a perfect balance between efficiency and the irreplaceable wisdom passed down through generations. But this venture is about more than just agriculture. As the new show takes shape, it captures something even more meaningful: family. Across 3 generations, the Pauls are working side by side, their bonds growing stronger with each day spent on the land. Dr. Paul's grandchildren eagerly take the wheel of tractors, their hands gripping the controls with determination, just as he once did as a young boy in the Netherlands. They learn to care for the animals, understanding the responsibility that comes with tending to another living being. These moments, filled with laughter, hard work, and shared experiences, create an authenticity that no script could ever replicate. It's this genuine spirit, the same quality that made the original show such a success, that continues to shine through. The excitement of building a new future is undeniable, but to truly understand this journey, one must look to the past. What shaped the resilience, determination, and compassion that would one day capture the hearts of millions? The answers lie in the story of a young boy growing up in a quiet Dutch village, a world away from the fame and success that would one day find him. In the peaceful village of Wateren, Netherlands, where towering windmills turned steadily in the breeze and the rhythmic clatter of wooden clogs echoed against cobblestone streets, life followed a simple but demanding rhythm. It was here in 1942 that Jan Harm Paul was born, at a time when the world was engulfed in the turmoil of World War II. Hardship was an early companion, and from a young age he understood that survival required both resilience and compassion. His family's small farm was not just a home but a way of life. Each day began before sunrise, filled with never-ending tasks that kept the household running. Cows had to be milked, fields tended, and vegetable gardens carefully maintained. There was no luxury of idleness. Every pair of hands, no matter how small, played a role in keeping food on the table. The values of hard work, perseverance, and self-sufficiency were woven into the fabric of daily existence, shaping John into the man he would become. But beyond the chores and responsibilities, an even deeper lesson was learned: the importance of caring for the land and the animals that depended on it. The well-being of their livestock was directly tied to the family's own survival, making their care an absolute priority. John's connection to animals was clear from an early age, a bond so strong that it never wavered. Hours were spent in the barn, watching cows graze and chickens scratch at the earth, fascinated by their behaviors. He noticed their mannerisms, their needs, and how each one played its part in the delicate balance of farm life. His father, seeing this natural connection, entrusted him with special tasks: feeding newborn calves, ensuring the chickens had fresh water, and keeping an eye on the weaker animals. These weren't just chores. They were lessons in responsibility, empathy, and the delicate nature of life itself. The quiet moments spent among the animals, feeling their warmth and understanding their needs, planted the seed of what would eventually become his life's calling. The village itself was a tight-knit community where neighbors supported each other in times of need. Whether it was lending a hand during harvest season or sharing food when times were tough, the spirit of unity and generosity was ever present. His mother, a woman known for her kindness, played a significant role in shaping his compassion. She had a habit of taking in stray animals, nursing them back to health with a gentle touch and unwavering patience. Their small home often echoed with the soft mews of kittens or the cheerful chirps of birds she had rescued, each one a living reminder that kindness could make all the difference. It was in this world of early mornings, hard-working hands, and unbreakable bonds that the foundation of Dr. Pohl's future was laid. Long before he became a household name, before television fame and veterinary success, he was simply a farm boy with a love for animals and a deep understanding of the land. These childhood experiences, etched into his memory, would guide him through life's challenges and ultimately bring him back to the place where it all began: the farm. As the youngest of 6 children on a busy dairy farm, certain tasks suited Jan's small size. Trapped animals could be rescued by squeezing into tight spaces, and eggs could be collected from beneath brooding hens with gentle hands. However, it was a chilly autumn morning in 1954 that proved to be a turning point. At just 12 years old, an unforgettable experience took place. A litter of piglets was being delivered, and as each tiny piglet entered the world, excitement filled his heart. In that barn, surrounded by hay and birth fluids, a realization struck. This was what he was meant to do. As the years passed, greater responsibilities were taken on. Fences were mended, fields were plowed, and more animal births were assisted. Each task strengthened his connection to farm life, reinforcing values of patience, empathy, and respect for the natural cycle of life. Caring for animals was no longer just a duty, it had become a calling. Before a veterinary career could be pursued, however, life had a few more adventures in store. In 1961, life stretched far beyond the familiar Dutch countryside when an opportunity arose through a foreign exchange program. Mayville, Michigan became the destination, a place where cowboy boots replaced wooden clogs and everything felt completely different. Culture shock settled in, but something else made the transition easier: meeting Diane Dalrymple, a warm-hearted American girl with a shared love for animals. Back home in the Netherlands, studies at Utrecht University's highly respected veterinary program became the main focus. Every letter from Diane added fuel to the determination to succeed. Professors quickly noticed a rare combination of textbook knowledge and hands-on farm experience, a blend that would later shape a groundbreaking approach to veterinary medicine. By 1970, a major crossroads had been reached. A veterinary degree had been earned, but an even bigger decision loomed. Dreams of a future with Diane outweighed the comforts of home, and in 1971, a plane was boarded with little more than a diploma, a suitcase packed with hope, and the skilled hands that would one day treat thousands of animals. A farm boy from Wateren had taken a leap of faith toward an American dream, unaware that his journey would one day inspire millions. In 1981, with nothing but a veterinary bag and an unstoppable work ethic, a small driveway in Weidman, Michigan became the starting point for something incredible. The garage, barely spacious enough for a car, was transformed into an unlikely clinic. Beside him, Diane handled the phones and kept records, turning an oil-stained concrete floor into the foundation of a thriving practice. The rural community was in desperate need of a vet who understood farm life, and not many fit the bill. While others preferred the comfort of an office, a different path was taken. Snowstorms were braved, muddy fields were crossed, and sick animals were reached even in the darkest corners of a barn. Calls for help never stopped. Whether it was a struggling cow in the middle of the night or a beloved pet in distress, no request went unanswered. It didn't take long for word to spread. Farmers swapped stories of a Dutch vet who never said no. Tales of dedication became legend. How a calf was delivered during a blizzard at 3 a.m, or how a tiny kitten was saved when all hope had been lost. The reputation grew, and soon, so did the client list. What started as a handful of local farms quickly turned into a booming practice. Farmers came in droves, bringing their livestock, pets, and trust. The ability to connect with both animals and their owners made an unforgettable impact. In a region where good veterinary care was rare, A lifeline had been built. Going above and beyond became second nature. Trust and admiration from the entire community followed, as people knew help would always be there, no matter the time, the weather, or the situation. A practice that once fit inside a garage had now become the heart of the region, not only healing animals, but strengthening the bonds between those who loved them. But with success came challenges. In 2014, the Michigan Veterinary Board stepped in, questioning certain methods. A fine of $500 was issued for not wearing proper surgical attire while treating a Boston Terrier, proving that even the most dedicated vets weren't immune to scrutiny. Standing firm in his beliefs, Dr. Paul refused to back down. In emergencies, saving an animal's life had always taken priority over rigid protocols. The Michigan Court of Appeals sided with him, overturning the fine and reinforcing the idea that practical veterinary care, especially in rural communities, was just as crucial as following textbook procedures. This unwavering dedication did not go unnoticed. In 2013, Central Michigan University honored him with an honorary doctorate, a testament to the impact he had made on veterinary medicine in underserved areas. From a humble garage clinic, his practice had grown into a facility that served over 25,000 clients. Within a 50-mile radius, nearly every farmer and pet owner knew his name. The original garage still stands today, a symbol of hard work and perseverance. Older residents often point to it and tell their grandchildren, that's where it all began. Within those walls, a Dutch immigrant with rough, calloused hands and a heart full of compassion built something extraordinary. Not a fortune, not an empire, but a lifeline for animals and their owners. His success stemmed from a simple principle. When someone called, he answered. No matter the hour, no matter the storm. But behind the busy clinic and growing fame, personal heartbreak tested the strength of the Paul family. What truly fueled Dr. Paul's relentless work ethic? Long before the cameras captured his daily life, Dr. Paul and Diane dreamed of filling their home with the laughter of children. When life had other plans, they turned to adoption. In 1973, Diane Jr. arrived, followed by Kathy a few months later, and Charles in 1979. Their once quiet farmhouse transformed into a place of adventure, filled with the energy of childhood curiosity and boundless love. At just 9 years old, Diane Jr. faced a heartbreaking loss when her birth mother, Joanne, succumbed to cancer. Grief settled over the family, but they clung to one another, determined to turn pain into resilience. She found comfort in the animals around her, learning from her parents that love and care could heal even the deepest wounds. Kathy shared her father's passion for animals, often accompanying him on farm calls and bottle-feeding orphaned calves. She eventually married Gregory Butch, a kind-hearted chemical technologist who shared her love of science. They built a beautiful life together in Bay City, Michigan, raising 2 children, Adam and Rachel, in a home filled with warmth and laughter. Then, tragedy struck. In February 2016, Gregory lost his battle with cancer. For nearly 21 years, he had been Kathy's unwavering support, her partner in every adventure. The weight of his absence was heavy, but the Paul family stood by her, with Dr. Paul making the hour-long drive to Bay City whenever she needed him. But the most devastating blow was yet to come. In September 2019, Adam, just 23 years old and thriving in his career as a pharmacy technician, passed away unexpectedly. The young man who had once played in his grandfather's clinic full of dreams and promise was suddenly gone. His empty seat at family dinners became a painful reminder of everything left unfinished. Something in Dr. Paul changed after that. Clients noticed how he lingered a little longer after appointments, sharing kind words and listening to their stories. The man once known for his no-nonsense approach now took extra moments to scratch behind a dog's ears or gently stroke a cat's chin. Loss had softened him, deepening his already profound compassion. Another challenge arose in 2024 when Diane faced major back surgery. The woman who had spent years answering frantic midnight phone calls from worried pet owners now needed care herself. Through the long recovery, Dr. Paul proved that the gentleness he showed animals extended even more deeply to his family. Diane had always been the backbone of both their home and the clinic, balancing the business side of things while offering comfort to worried pet owners. Now, it was her turn to be cared for, and Dr. Paul never hesitated. He adjusted his schedule, cutting back on cases so he could be by her side, ensuring she had everything she needed for a smooth recovery. The same hands that had delivered calves and mended injured animals now carefully helped Diane through each step of healing. He took over household tasks, cooked meals, and made sure she never felt alone in her journey back to health. Despite the demands of his practice, he remained a steady presence, offering both his patients and his wife the care they needed. With every milestone, whether it was the clinic's expansion, the success of the TV show, or the financial stability they had built, Dr. Pol found new meaning in their achievements. Each one became a tribute to the loved ones they had lost, and a foundation for those who remained. In their grief, the Pols realized that true wealth was not measured in bank balances or television deals, but in the irreplaceable moments shared with family, and the security of knowing they would always be there for one another. Beyond the cameras and the busy veterinary practice, Dr. Pol holds a secret that might surprise his millions of fans. Unlike many public figures who flaunt their success with expensive cars or sprawling mansions, he remains deeply rooted in simplicity. He still drives the same old truck, still lives in the same modest house where his practice first began, and still approaches life with the same hard-working, no-nonsense attitude. But behind this unassuming lifestyle lies a carefully crafted plan, shaped by both love and loss. Earning between $30,000 and $40,000 per episode over 24 seasons, along with the steady income from his thriving veterinary practice, Dr. Pol could have easily indulged in luxury. Instead, he took a different path, choosing to invest wisely in real estate and secure financial stability for his family. Every property he purchased served a purpose, not as a display of wealth, but as a safety net for those he cared about most. A walk through his clinic reveals the same philosophy. Old but functional medical equipment sits alongside newer technology, proof of his belief that if something still does the job, there's no need to replace it. "Why buy new when the old works just fine?" he often says with a knowing grin. This practical mindset allowed him to build a net worth of over $1.5 million, though you'd never guess it from his worn work boots and simple white coat. The unexpected loss of his grandson Adam in 2019 changed everything. Suddenly, every dollar saved took on a deeper meaning. It was no longer about accumulating wealth, it became about ensuring his family never faced hardship alone. He saw how Kathy struggled after losing both her husband and son, and he made a silent vow. No one in his family would ever have to worry about financial security again. Between patient visits, Dr. Pol often sits at his old wooden desk, meticulously planning for the future. He has set up trust funds for his grandchildren's education, purchased properties that generate steady income, and created financial safeguards to catch his loved ones if they ever stumble. His investments stretch across Michigan like a protective shield, ensuring that his family will always have stability, no matter what life throws their way. Even his most recent project, the incredible Pol Farm, fits into this grand plan. The 350-acre farm isn't just a retirement pastime. It's an investment designed to sustain future generations. The land will provide food, financial support, and a lasting connection to their farming roots, ensuring that the Pol family remains tied to the values that built their success. As Diane recovers from her surgery in 2024, the wisdom behind Dr. Pol's careful planning becomes clear. Thanks to the financial foundation he built, they can focus entirely on her healing without the added stress of medical bills or work obligations. It's a testament to the security he has spent a lifetime creating, a glimpse of the future he envisioned for his family. At 82, Dr. Pol has achieved something far greater than television fame or a successful veterinary career. He has built a lasting legacy of love, resilience, and responsibility. His true wealth is not counted in dollars, but in the security and comfort he has provided for his family, ensuring they will always have what they need, no matter what comes next. Through every decision, he has proven that success isn't about flashy achievements, but about the lasting impact one leaves behind. For Dr. Pol, the greatest accomplishment isn't the thriving clinic, the TV show, or even the thousands of animals he has saved. It's the knowledge that his family will always be cared for, that his life's work will continue long after he's gone. A legacy built not on fortune, but on love, foresight, and unwavering dedication to the people who matter most.